It appears I was not live there on the, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me now. I appear to have muted my microphone. How are you all on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, in my Facebook group, the Happy Me Project Facebook group? Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. If you are watching this on the replay, if you're watching this in the future, then please do make sure to comment below and let me know that you have been here. If you're on Facebook, I might not be able to see your name come up, so excuse me appearing rude. I just might not be able to see you. It might just tell me that there is somebody from Facebook that is on. But good morning to you all. Today's topic is self-development. Is too much of it a bad thing? It's a bit of a contentious topic for somebody who is a self-development coach to talk about. I will explain all. I will explain why. Good morning, lovely Louise. I'm good, thank you. I would say I'm a solid 9 today. So I'm gonna ask you guys, I'm gonna throw this out to you from a 1 to a 10. How are you feeling today? For those that are brand new to sitting in on a live with me, I do this because I like to check in on you guys. I like to see how you are feeling. 1 being rubbish, 10 being I feel incredible. I think it's a tangible way of being able to say how you feel. How are you sometimes feels a hard thing to answer, doesn't it, Louise? You know, it's sometimes a hard thing for us to go, I don't know, I feel okay, I don't know. And what does that mean to you? What does it mean to somebody else? Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Grace. And Louise is an 8 or a 9 today. Amazing. I love that. And wherever you are, if you're on the lower end of the spectrum and a 1 or a 2 today, or you're a 10 today, wherever you are at, just notice it. If you're a 10, be in it. Love it. Like Kirsty's a 9, incredible. Be in it. Soak it up. Be in it. Don't second guess it any more than that. And if you're a 1 today, don't expect massive things of yourself. Don't expect to suddenly be a 10. Just expect, let's try and get to a 2. Let's try and get to a 3, you know, like, let's just make it realistic for ourselves and be kind enough and compassionate enough to ourselves on this journey. And Marie is a 6 today. And another important thing to remember when we do this scale of 1 to 10 is, what is your average at the moment? So my daily average is usually around a 9. I'm a fairly positive and resilient human being. So I do bounce back quick when I'm having a down day. So actually when you practice this stuff a lot, you can get good at going from quite a low number to a higher number quite quickly, but that does take time. And I never expect any of you guys to put that kind of pressure on yourself. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, somebody else on Facebook. Oh, it's Hannah, and Hannah is a 7 or an 8 today. Emma is 7. Lots of technical difficulties with your boiler. Nah. And car issues. It never rains, it pours. Well, just be present today and see what you can do to push yourself through all of that annoying life stuff. And someone else on Facebook is an 8 to a 10, 8 out of 10, sorry, which is amazing given my 6-month-oldest teeth. That is an incredible, mean feat. And I can see somebody on Twitter is an 8 today, and so grateful. Amazing. I'm so glad that you are all here. And if you are following me outside of my Facebook group, you're on Facebook, my Facebook page, or Twitter or YouTube, please do make sure to subscribe, to like, to follow, whatever you got to do, because it really does help engagement. It helps me to do more and to reach more people. So I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you guys for being here with me this morning. Hannah saying she's had a really hard few months, so having to work quite hard on myself to stay focused. I'm glad that you are, and I know that you have lots of the tools to be able to do that. And, you know, sometimes life is tough, isn't it? It just is. And we can't, and this actually, let's start talking about what we're talking about, because I think it brings us nicely onto it. And my question for us today. So often when you start doing self-development, self-improvement, talking about positive mindset, there can be a kickback. We've talked about this before, where people will go, that self-development stuff's a load of old crap, right? Now, self-development, I have done self-development, self-improvement, positive mindset type stuff since I was really young. And I have done courses, I have read books, I've listened to audios, I've seen things on YouTube, I've followed people on social media, I have been to workshops and events. I have made self-development, I couldn't even say it there, I made self-development my career, my work. And for the 99% of the stuff that I have done and the work that I've done to get me here, self-development has been incredible for me. It has helped me through the most difficult times in my life. It has helped me to have the skills and the tools to bounce back. It has taught me some incredible stuff. And so for the most part, working on your mind, working on self-improvement in some way, being your own coach is the most positive thing that you will ever do. And I'm never going to sit here as somebody who is a coach and say, no, that self-development stuff's a lot of all crap, because it's not. It is absolutely essential and should be taught from a very young age so that we can all navigate life. However, the reason for this topic today is there are a few elements of self-development now that can be not so good for us. And this is what I want to talk about, because I do, you guys who follow me already know I don't do bullshit, and I don't do avoiding the stuff that's glaringly obvious in our faces. And so that's why I thought this was an important topic to discuss today with you, because self-development and mental health discussions certainly over the last 18 months have grown exponentially, right? We have seen so much more than we ever have. We've seen much more people. I've seen more people in my community come into this community because the last year and the last 18 months has just been a lot. And so more people are seeking out, geez, like I kind of thought I was all right with life. I had loads of distractions, loads of stuff to do. But then when I don't have the distractions and I have to go into my home, I can't cope. I don't like the noise that I hear. And so we have a lot more access, a lot more talk about self-development, and that brings with it other stuff. So one of the things that brings with it is this: toxic positivity. Now, toxic positivity is the feeling of toxic positivity was the one that you'll see posts and it will just be good vibes only. And it's that feeling that in fact, hang on, I wrote something down, so I'm going to read it because it was an actual definition of what toxic positivity is, and I might butcher it. So toxic positivity is the belief that no matter how dire or difficult a situation, people should maintain a positive mindset. That, my friends, is bullshit and toxic positivity. So Hannah in my Facebook group, in the Happy Me Project Facebook group, has just shared that she's had a tough time. Tough stuff's gone on. And I know that most of you watching this have been through some tough stuff. And during those times, it is not enough for somebody on Instagram, for somebody like me in my kind of field to go, just think positively, because it doesn't work and it doesn't mean anything and it's unhelpful. And you can't just be positive through everything. That doesn't mean that we don't use the tools of reframing things and trying to seek out the good around it. I fully believe we do that. However, there are times when it's just crap. There are times when you're sad. There are times when you need to be really angry, and that's an appropriate response. Good vibes only doesn't work then. Just be positive, just smile. Those things have never helped anybody through anything. And by doing that, when we just go, no, you should just smile, you should just be positive, and we project this toxic positivity, what it does is makes us just squeeze down all our feelings and emotions, and it's robotic. Like we cannot function as human beings if we don't have all of the feelings that we need to have. We need to be angry sometimes. Anger's an important thing. We need to be sad sometimes. If somebody that you love dies and you feel I'm just going to be positive about it the whole time and you don't feel any of those emotions, I promise you'll be feeling those emotions somewhere else, because we don't get to what we would describe as spiritually bypass the feelings. You don't get to just go, I'm just not going to feel it, just going to think positive, brush it under the rug, because eventually that comes out in you screaming at your children. That comes out in you having a breakdown at work. We don't get to do that. It doesn't work that way. So just be positive is toxic positivity. That is not feeling things. That is not, you just have to, just keep getting back up with whatever going through the process of feeling those emotions. Kaylee says, I've been angry and pushed out toxic people lately. And for sure, you've got to do that well sometimes, not just the toxic positivity, but the toxic people. And being angry about that was probably an important process, right? To use that anger to help you to put some boundaries in place is important. And someone on Facebook's just saying, when you just have so much and more, it gets loaded on you. By being toxically positive, we are in effect ignoring the problem. 100%, we are ignoring the problem. It's almost like just sticking those rose-tinted spectacles on and going, nothing to see here at all. Keep smiling, post on Instagram, everything's fine. It's nonsense. Sometimes we feel utterly rubbish. And you all know, you can remember a time, and maybe it's been this week, you can remember a time when you were lying on the floor crying. You can remember a time when you were the worst version of yourself in anger, when you've shouted at somebody that you love, when you've lost your head. We can all remember those times when we've been like that. And you know what? From those awful times comes growth. Because when you hit that point in your life where you feel utterly sad and you let it go and you sob, or tell somebody, those toxic people, I can see someone in Twitter as well mentioning, get rid of those toxic people from your life ASAP. Absolutely. When you've hit that, then you do clear out the mess, you clear out some stuff, but we need to feel that stuff. And so when it comes to self-development, if you are in that space of, and we get this a lot, there are certain communities online, and again, it's not singling these communities out, but the MLM culture of multi-level marketing, and I have lots of friends that do that, and I'm not sitting here from a space of judgment, but there's a lot of toxic positivity in those world, because it is needed in that space, because if you don't just keep going, you kind of stop, you assess, you might not do it anymore. And I think we have to be really careful with who we are following online and what they are talking about. Just be happy, just be positive, and it's all done isn't enough, because we sometimes have to go through a process of pain to come out of the other side and feel better. And that's uncomfortable. And that's why when we talk about doing the work in terms of self-development, it's not always a nice process. Sometimes it's sore and it's raw and you have to get really vulnerable, but that's real self-development. That's real growth. Okay. I can see Marie saying she loves a good clear out. Oh, it's important. And what is my next thoughts? Now, this is probably, well, it's not, I don't know if they're both as equally as important, but this is a really important thing about self-development. And this is where I think that we have to be really careful, and you guys can check in with yourself and make sure that you are doing things in the right way. So you're here probably because you do and have done some form of self-development. You're hanging out with me in my communities because you're seeking a way to feel good. You want to feel, as I coined the phrase, you want to feel more happy and less crappy. That's it, right? You would like to feel happy more than you don't. And that's a great thing. However, we can slip into a space where we just keep consuming and we keep reading the stuff and we keep watching the videos, and we get to a point where actually we're just consuming, we're not doing. And what we're beginning to tell our brain or our subconscious of our minds is we're not good enough. We need to be fixed. We're broken. That can be sometimes, if we're not careful, when we turn into self-development junkies, it can be that we are beginning to tell our brain that we have to keep going, we have to keep consuming, we have to listen to another podcast, we have to watch another thing, we have to sign up for another course, keep going, because we're not good enough, right? And that's when we have to assess it, because self-development is a brilliant thing. Tweaking how you are, and I always use the word tweak because you're not actually broken. Tweaking, just adjusting, noticing who you are at this point in your life, because what worked 10 years ago is not necessarily going to work now, and nor should it. And just keep adjusting and checking out, am I in the right space? Am I on the right track? That's a good thing. But if you are consumed so much by consuming these products and consuming this stuff and reading, and you think you can't stop, often that's because you've gotten to a space by thinking, if I don't do this, then I'm broken. I'm already broken. I'm not enough. You have to understand that as you go on this journey through life, you have to believe and you have to teach yourself. And that's why self-development can be good. You have to teach yourself that you are enough, even with the broken bits, even with the vulnerability, even with the fact that you made that mistake, or you cheated, or you lied, or you've got wobbly cellulite and a fat ass, whatever. Like, we have to understand that even with the bits that we might want to tweak or adjust, or maybe we can't, we have to accept ourselves first in that moment. And I think it's important that we check in with ourselves, that as we're consuming all of the stuff, we're not just busy in our minds and using self-development as another form of procrastination and not actually taking action. So all well and good learning the stuff, but if you don't take action at the end of it, then it ceases to have any purpose for you. Does anybody resonate with that? Does anybody get that? Because I've been in that space before where I'm just consuming, and it's almost this feeling, and this can happen in the world of self-development. It's almost a subconscious feeling of, if I keep doing it, then I'm better. I'm better because I journal, meditate. I'm the better person. I'm winning. And they can become all this like kind of Puritan style of self-development, which is awful, and I can't stand it. In my world of self-development, there are going to be days when you don't do any of it. There are going to be days when you don't meditate. You just sit there with a big tub of ice cream and feeling sorry for yourself. There are days like that. And actually, although we don't want to hang out in that space, those days are also important. Just like having the flip side of the sad and more negative emotions, it's also important to have days when you go, I'm not doing any of it. I'm not doing any of the stuff I know I'm supposed to be doing, because you need to have that freedom. When it becomes this regimented, I've got to do this every day and I've got to do it in this way and this order. When it becomes regimented, you'll rebel and it won't work. And it's not actually going to improve your life in the way that you want it to. Good morning on Facebook. I can't see who that is. It hasn't come up with your name, but good morning. So that's something that you want to think about. And I always love, so when I talk about the fact that you guys aren't broken, you're not broken. You're not a person, even though here and you want to work on some stuff, you're not broken now. You don't need fixed. You're perfect as you are. You're perfect. That's weird. You know, we say often perfectly imperfect, and I do love that. But actually, I said it to my daughter, my youngest. Text said, we're all perfectly imperfect. And she said, why are you saying I'm not perfect? And I thought, well, yeah, she's right. We don't even need to say the perfectly imperfect. We are just perfect. You're perfect as you are. And even if you want to work on certain aspects of your life and you want to adjust, hi, Emily, I couldn't see who it was. And when you want to adjust, you know, just because you want to adjust certain things, and perhaps you need to learn some boundaries, or you need to learn how to build your confidence. These are all good skills that you can learn. And that's great. Be perfect now as you are. And I love in Japan, they have, and I did write it down because I knew I would forget the name of him. Or have I even put it in there? I don't know if I've even written it down. I've forgotten the name of it. It doesn't matter what the name of it is, but in Japan, and you've probably seen this because I've seen it a lot on social media as well, but I love it. I think it's such a good visual, is that when they break pottery, their pots, their pans, their vases, rather than just see it as a broken thing, what they do is they put it back together and they seal it up. They seal the cracks with gold. So they become these like really ornate and beautiful pots and vases with these cracks all in them. And what an amazing visualization for us to see that's how we are if we choose to be. We can choose to look at all of the stuff that we've been through, all of the pain, all of the hardship, all of the mistakes that we've made. We could choose to look at that and go, I'm a broken, smashed pot on the floor. I'm a broken human being. I need fixed, but I can't be fixed. I'm just broken. Or we can decide that we are like those Japanese vases. We are a Japanese vase. You didn't think you'd be like affirming that today. You are, if you choose, you're just like those Japanese vases, and you can fill that pain with gold, because in that pain is gold. In that pain is lessons. In that pain is growth. In that pain is you taking your life and shaping it in the way that you need it to be in this moment. In all of that pain is this shining bright gold. You see my necklace on my neck here, #ad, because this is something that I get paid for, but I love it regardless of, I don't make much money from these, by the way, just so everybody knows. It's not my big money earner. But these necklaces I created with mantra jewelry, and they are shaped like a diamond, and they come with the mantra, Diamonds are made under pressure, and it's a similar sort of vibe, right? That we go through stuff, and what comes out of the other side, just like when you create a diamond, is that the pressure that we get put under, the stuff that we go through in life, that we come out shining. If we choose to, we get to choose, right? We get to choose if we want to say we're a broken human being that needs to overconsume all the self-development because we will never be enough, we will never be fixed, or we get to go, I'm a diamond with the pain, I'm that gold, I'm the vase with the gold in it, because I get to choose that I'm that even with my pain, even with my mistakes, my flaws, my vulnerability, even with the fact I still want to do some self-development, I want to keep learning, and I love it, and it helps me to, feel good. Even with all of that stuff, I am enough right now, and I really want you guys to hear that at the beginning of this week. I love self-development stuff. I love the fact that we get to choose, that we do this stuff, that we have the ability to get access to help with our mental health. I think that's incredible. But don't forget on the journey that along that way, as you learn new things, that you're perfect as you are. And I think that's really, really important. And just as you're going through social media, I know I say this a lot, but just be aware of who you're following and the messaging that they're putting out. If it is the void of feelings, performative aspect of self-development, because I think that's what it is. If it's performative and it's ticking the box of, I do journaling, I do meditation, I do a cold water, what do you call that? You do the cold water showers and baths and stuff, and I do crystals, and I do, if it's, and I'm not saying everybody that does this is performative, by the way, but just be careful that when you're following people online, that they're not perpetuating, let's avoid any feelings, I think we just need to be resourceful and find that we have the right tools, that we can bounce back from stuff, and just not get so sucked into things that we think that we need everything to be a certain way for us to function. I hope that makes sense and resonates. I certainly don't, I don't believe that we shouldn't be doing self-development, because it's what I talk about, guys, right? But it is about noticing whether you're just avoiding taking the action. So what action are you guys going to take this week? This is my final thoughts for you. You have a fresh week ahead, a brand new week. I said to my daughters on the way to school, what are you excited about this week? What are you excited about? Even if you haven't got anything particular in the diary, let me know in the comments. What are you excited about this week? It could be, I'm just excited because it's a fresh week. I'm excited that I get a day off. I'm excited that I'm going to go meet my friends for lunch. What are you excited about? Have a little think and pop that in the comments. And the thing to think about at the beginning of the week is, if you fast forward to the end of this week and you were to describe this week as a success, a week that you had enjoyed and it was a successful week, what would you have had to do this week? And that can help you to think about what you'd like to do this week. What do you need this week? These are questions I'm going to put to you. What do you need? What do you need more of this week? Do you need to be more social? Do you need to see some people? Do you need to see some friends? Do you need some good food? Do you need to move your body a bit more? Do you need to drink some water? That's my reminder. I need to drink some water. What do you need this week? Okay. Katie says, I'm excited. It's my daughter's 9th birthday this week, and my birthday is a week today. Amazing. Lovely. Some celebrations this week. That's fantastic. I love that. And so, yeah, have a think about it this week, and let me know your thoughts on self-development and toxic positivity. Let me know in the comments as well, especially if you're watching this in the future too. Let me know what signs of toxic positivity you have seen, because I'm interested, because I hear people talk to me a lot about it, and I think it puts people off actually doing the real self-development work, where we feel all uncomfortable and we have to go through some stuff. What is the toxic positivity that you see online? Maybe it's a meme you've seen, maybe it's a quote that you've seen, that you see people say, and it feels like and don't get me wrong, guys, in the past I've absolutely slipped into that. There was definitely a time I did some network marketing for a short time, and during that time I definitely slipped into wear my mask, not going to feel anything, just going to keep going, going to perpetuate loads of toxic positivity. I definitely did this. There's no judgment on anybody who has done this, does this, or is in the grips of it, because it's easy done. Because what we want is just to be better and to feel better. And so it's dead easy done. But it's interesting to start noticing this. We have a big array of stuff in and access to a lot of stuff right now in the world and on social media and online, and there's a lot of stuff. So we have to be careful about where our messaging is coming from. Kaylee says, I need more workouts, and I'm with you, Holly. I need to drink more water. Yeah, we probably all do, don't we? In fact, after you get off this, go and have a drink of water. That's my little nudge to you. And just have a little stretch out. Just check your body for a moment as well. You know, just stretch everything out. Ugh, lovely. Have a little, you know, shake it off. I know Katie likes it when we do a shake off. And we do a shake off for those of you, especially if you go through anxiety type stuff and you're feeling anxious today. Just shake it off like Taylor Swift, right? Shake your body. The reason we do it is because when animals are in the wild, you know, when you see a predator chasing its prey, if the prey manages to escape, which is what we feel like when we're going through anxiety, isn't it? We feel like anxiety is the predator and we are the prey and it's attacking us. When you manage to escape as the prey from the predator, you will see animals shake off the experience. And so when we do that as well for ourselves, when we shake off we just shake off the stuff that we're feeling, it actually has an impact. So I know some of you are already just giving it a little shot, aren't you? You should give it a little shot. Have an amazing day, guys. I am working on some stuff right now as well. I know I've been talking a lot. I've been asking a lot of questions in my community. So the focus, I was going to do a confidence workshop as a one-off. I've decided against it because I am bringing out a membership. Okay, it's happening. I'm putting it out in the world. I'm bringing out a membership, and you guys are going to absolutely love this. This is going to be the one. This is going to be about accountability, regularly checking in, no nonsense, no fluff. Let's just do the work together. Really extend the community that I've created in the Happy Me Project Facebook group. Let's make this more accountable so we're actually doing something regular. I'm trying to keep the price as low as possible because I know I want you guys in this, and there's going to be some really good stuff. So I want to focus all of my attention on getting that up and running because so many of you have said, look, I want it, make it happen. So I'm going to make this happen. You can always get access to my stuff on social media. I'm on social media every day, so there's always something for you to want to have a look at. I am uploading stuff onto YouTube, but less so at the moment, purely because I've been really working in the background. My podcast every Thursday at 7 a.m. There is a podcast episode that will go out, the Happy Me Project podcast. Please do subscribe on all of the platforms and leave me comments and stuff where you can do, because that's really important. But there's loads of free access there for you. You also have the Happy Me Project 1, the Happy Me Project 2, which are self-study courses, and you can get those immediately and you can just crack on. There's no accountability with those. You've got to just do that yourself, which is why I've created the membership, or I'm creating the membership, because I know that, and I know from my own experience, if we don't have somebody cracking the whip now and then and holding us accountable, we just don't do it, and then we don't get the benefit. So it's in the offing, guys, and I'm excited about it because I think it's going to be a really, really powerful thing for you all, and I want you all to be in it. I haven't got a name for it. I haven't got the back end stuff done yet, but I know how it's going to look, and I've been already thinking of other excellent people that I can bring in to do talks and all of that. Kaylee, there is now, I think, 22 episodes on the podcast. It's a whole heap, and there's going to be more to come. Always let me know what you guys want me to talk about, what you're struggling with, what the challenges are. Let me know in the comments. I do read them. I do my best, but I don't always get the time to message everybody individually. I really try. Trying to also get balance. That's what I've been trying to do over the last year. I'm not a very easily balanced person. I'm very all or nothing. So bear with me as I go through this stuff. But thank you for your messages. Thank you for your continued support. And I will speak to you all very, very soon. Peace out.